Welcome to the Fancy Thinker. I'm Jared, and today we are going to be talking about Nexus by Yuval Noah Harari, the best-selling author of Sapiens. And this is his latest book. Has a subtitle of A Brief History of Information Networks from the Stone Age to AI. And, you know, uh, Harari's known for *Sapiens* for his brief history of all humankind, and so I really love these brief histories, and I love his writing style. So, in this next chapter of a series of books that started with *Sapiens* and attempts to explain history with an eye towards defining certain concepts of storytelling and fictions and how they attributed to the evolution of our species. Harari now is taking on information networks. Um, and he defines information as a key component in the social expansion of humanity, and is careful to expose it for what it is. It's a means to achieving power. Information, he states, does not equal truth. Um, a naive way of looking at the growing access to information from like the record keeping of the Romans to the printing press and now to the internet is to assume that having more information means having access to the truth, which brings greater wisdom and makes better informed decisions. But rather, information is mostly used to maintain order, and this can be good or bad, depending on the circumstances. And so Harari gives us plenty of examples where information was used to misinform or disinform on purpose leaders and populations that led to some catastrophic results. And many of these examples given occurred long before the internet, so this isn't like just a modern problem. Um, there are plenty of specifics in here that I won't get into, and because one, I'd spoil the fun for you finding out for yourself, and two, and more importantly, I really couldn't give justice to the topics that the way Harari does. Um, but one example, just to throw it out there, is the Spanish Inquisition which was the result of blatant disinformation and a combination of misinformation to the public as well. So it was, that is one example among many that are in here. Um, but this is one of the main purposes I have in recommending Harari's work is my lack of ability to tell these stories myself, is that he is just a really good writer who makes history fun. And the importance of this cannot be overstated. Like I read this book at the same speed I would read a riveting fantasy epic or an exciting sci-fi tale. It was that engrossing and just plain fascinating. Harari doesn't give us the same old examples of history with the same old explanations. He digs up stuff I never heard about. He focuses on things that had massive effects on the course of history that other history books may gloss over or even miss completely. And it's so that's pretty cool. And he spends a lot of time in this book focusing on democracies and authoritarians, both their differences and how closely related they can sometimes be. He points out that these things are not polar opposites and are quite malleable depending upon the use of information. One thing he points out is that the Constitution of the United States is a very important document because of the built-in means of self-correction. Unlike the Bible per se, which presents itself as infallible, um, the Constitution recognizes that it was created by fallible humans and should be adjusted accordingly. Uh, for instance, the Constitution was able to be amended to ban slavery, whereas the Bible cannot be. Um, according to the misinformation of certain authorities, that is. uh, Once again, Harari explains these things much better than I can. Um, the elephant in the room, of course, is artificial intelligence, or as Harari prefers, alien intelligence. He gives us a long explanation here about why he prefers this term, but the best that I can boil it down to quickly is that artificial has a connotation of something fake or lesser, or and something created that can be controlled. Alien denotes something we don't fully understand and may already be out of our control. So the advent of AI is quickly moving into alien territory. The algorithmic control that AI is beginning to display over the everyday lives of humans is a very concerning topic for Harari. He explores this with plenty of examples of the testing and researching that has been done at places like Google and Meta and Amazon, um, and so on. So the third part of this book really explores what AI can mean for our future and lays down a cautionary tale that really should be headed, but or not headed, heeded, but will probably be ignored by our current leaders. He cautions us that algorithms are currently programmed to increase exposure and profit over truth. See, that's the case of more information, but not more truth. And rather than being programmed to disseminate and sort information reliably, like you would think we would prefer. So this way, information that is exciting, bombastic, and attention-getting, even if completely false, brings in more exposure, therefore more profit than it would if it was like checked for accuracy and stuff like that. So self-correction is not built into these algorithms, these AI algorithms. And so until humans can self-correct, any false narratives have maximum exposure if sensational and believable. And the main goal right now of AI is to connect rather than represent. So, all that said, Harari does relent that we cannot be too cynical about AI, um, so that we swing, so far in the other direction. As much as information prefers order over truth, no system can survive indefinitely on falsehood, like Nazism, Stalinism, Spanish Inquisition, etc. So he does present hope that humans as individuals naturally seek truth over order in the long run. So I really admired and marveled at Harari's ability to convey concepts in this entertaining and informative manner, and I really hope that you will be likely impressed. All right, so that's all I got for today, Nexus, and as always, be good to each other, and thank you.